absolutely crazy freaks of the acts. The first, as far as I'm concerned, every act is a headline act, but some poor bugger has to go on first, and we've picked on this lad because he's weak. But only physically, mentally he's quite strong. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the first turn. Here he comes, the one and only little Craig Beadle, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, yes, my name is Craig, but a lot of my friends actually call me CJ. Now this is a hangover from when I was a lot younger, maybe about 12 it started, and it was quite a cool thing. It's slightly American sounding, you know, I rocked it to be honest. Thanks, I appreciate that one. But the thing is, as you get older, you realise that you are now a 25-year-old who still dresses like an extra from Malcolm in the Middle, and it's a lot less cool. The name CJ actually has quite a few different connotations. So for a lot of people, you might think of, if you're my generation, a character from Grand Theft Auto, or others might think of the press secretary in The West Wing. The worst one is Pamela Anderson's character in Baywatch. Now, this is really not the kind of expectations I want to set people when they're being introduced to me, and this has never been more apparent than when I first met my girlfriend's family, and her uncle had been hearing for months about how he was going to meet CJ, and I'm what turns up. He really didn't appreciate the effort I went to get into that red one piece either. To be honest, actually, if I were to put the red one piece on, it would maybe fit a bit better than I might like. I'm getting a bit moody under all of this, and I'm a bit less muffin top and more muffin middle. It's really not the prettiest pictures, so I decided I'm going to join a gym. So everyone keeps telling me, if you join a gym, it'll be great, you start running, it's really addictive, you'll stick with it, it'll be fantastic. And the only thing I find that's more addictive than running is not running. So I'm going to stick with that. I mean, after all, my arse isn't going to sit on itself. So I decided maybe instead of going to the gym and relying on self-motivation, I should join a sports team. So I have recently taken up softball. Now, for those of you who don't know, softball... Thanks, softball team! So, softball is essentially cricket for people that don't like counting. It is very much the Liberal Democrats of sports. It's for those who can't run too far or too fast, or hit too hard, or inaccurately, or in my case, at all. But most people also think it's not a very manly sport. They think that, you know, it's unisex, so it's really not manly. But I get to walk through the East End of London with a baseball bat over one shoulder. I'm basically one of the craze. So I get to walk through, and I don't even get the chafing after matches anymore. So it is really, that's mostly down to this new lotion I found that's oolong with a hint of jasmine. It's beautiful, I really recommend it. But it's a really manly sport, and I don't see why people are so down on it. Maybe, actually, instead of focusing on exercise, it's really not my forte, I should focus on my diet. So, actually on that note, I have eaten quite a lot of fruit and veg today, so I'm putting a frankly arrogant sense of faith in my own digestive system. So, to the act that has to follow me, yeah, sorry about that. I'm glad they put the brown sofas at the front because that's very much the splash zone, so it's not like I didn't try to do something to improve it. I ate 14 packets of chocolate digestives, and it turns out they don't aid your digestion at all. So instead, what I did today was I went out for lunch and I got a pulled pork sandwich. Now, pulled pork is absolutely everywhere at the moment. I mean, we're in Shoreditch, so everyone here must have seen pulled pork somewhere in their lifetime. But I just think it's going too far. You've now got pulled pork, you've got pulled chicken. If you go out in Shoreditch, you can get absolutely anything you want pulled. Which is probably a phrase I've not used since I was a teenager, actually, so best leave that one. But another one is chorizo. Now, chorizo as well is everywhere, and I kind of sensed a few people when I said that thought maybe, oh, he's not pronouncing it in the correct Spanish way, that's not how you say it. The only way I will ever pronounce chorizo in the correct Spanish way is when I've eaten so much that I have a mild stroke. That is the only, probably next Tuesday, but that is the only way it will ever happen. And it's not even just these obscure foods, it's also chips. The humble chip I did not think could be improved. You come out in Shoreditch and somehow some brainiac decided to make triple cooked chips. Now, as far as I'm concerned, that is basically waterboarding potato, and I'm happy to say potatoes probably told us everything they already know. And it's not even just the food, it's the drink as well. You go out and you order a glass of water, it will always come with cucumber in. Now, I hate cucumber. I cannot stand it. And every time I say that, some smart aleck always says, oh, but it's 99% water. You know, look, what's the dislike about cucumber? As far as I'm concerned, that makes cucumber 1% pure evil. And further adding water to dilute it, it's page 1 of Satan's Guide to Homeopathy. I'm not having it. If you have learned anything from my, let's call it a lecture tonight, then let it be this. But, well, first you probably never to go out with food with me in Shoreditch, but let it be that small changes can add up to a big difference. So recently at work, I started taking the stairs. Thank you, yeah, appreciate it. And people are already noticing a difference. Mostly that I'm 45 minutes late and arrive sweating and crying, but they are still noticing. And what this will mean is that come next softball season, when I'm walking through the East End of London with my bat over my shoulder, I will be absolutely rocking the look, and I will be turning heads, not stomachs, and looking fantastic in my red one piece. Thank you very much.